There are many ways to strengthen materials. These are called strengthening mechanisms. To understand these better, we must first understand the basics of materials. Imagine for a moment the material is you, the student. The stress and strain graph, therefore, would be the stress you undergo on a daily basis versus the time constraints that keep straining at your existence throughout uni. Things start off okay, and you are able to deal with the rising levels of stress until it becomes too much and you reach a point of no return, where you yield to the stress and disorder takes over. Eventually, you reach the necking point, and things only go downhill from here, until you fracture and finally give up, leave uni, and go quacking insane. Strength is therefore the measure of how organized you are, or how easily you can be disorganized. Deformation, or disorganization, is the movement of dislocations or important assignments. Like when you keep putting off that reflection you've been meaning to do. Ductility is a measure of how much strain you can survive before you start cracking like a duck. Strain hardening. The theory behind strain hardening is that if the amount of dislocations or assignments is increased, then it will become harder for the student to move tasks around, so they can actually have a life, meaning they will grow used to the stress and be forced to become more organized or stronger, as they can no longer move things around. If the stress is removed and then reapplied, the student will be able to survive more stress before they reach the point of no return. Therefore, it takes more stress and strain for deformation to occur. An example of strain hardening is when we went through 1100. They stressed us out so much that it will now take a lot more in 1200 to get us back to the necking point, although it's not impossible. So strain hardening increases your yield strength and your necking point. However, it decreases your ductility, meaning it takes less time for you to go insane and start quacking like a duck. This is a visual representation of a work-hardened student. Take notice of the reduced size of duck. A better method for strengthening is increasing the grain boundaries. The grain boundaries are the boundaries between different lattices, or semesters. These mark a place that dislocations or assignments cannot cross. So the more holidays, the less movement of assignments and the stronger the student. Obviously, this means we need more holidays. The third and final strengthening mechanism is alloying materials. Alloying is like teamwork. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You really need the perfect combination of materials in order to make it effective. If you don't have the perfect combination, then the material becomes worse off, and you'll wonder why you ever thought it was a good idea to mix the materials in the first place, as they're probably all going to start and there are your strengthening mechanisms. In conclusion, Eng 1200 and materials teach us that we need more holidays, so that we don't quack like ducks or go insane in teens. Thanks, and try not to quack too much this semester.